Hey, how's it going? My name is Jack here with Mr. and Mrs. Leads. Wanted to thank you for trying out the site auditor. I hope you got some insight out of that. I wanted to follow up and provide some further insight as a search marketer from what I can see with your website so that you can understand kind of what is potentially out there, what you're doing right, as well as how we would be able to grow your website out and really take this to the next level if we're to tackle this project on together. So let me go ahead and get started. The first thing I did was I actually typed in your URL here into Ahrefs. Ahrefs is a tool that search marketers like myself use to determine how authoritative a website is and a couple of other metrics. So I did that, and right off that bat, what I can see is right now your website is not very authoritative. I can see that here from this URDR backlinks and referring domains. So the number of backlinks that are pointing back to your website is a metric that Google uses to determine how authoritative your website is. And so right now, it looks like you're sitting at 134 backlinks on 8 referring domains. There are actually 31 that's live and 7 referring domains. It basically means that there's 7 or 8 websites out there that are pointing back to your website by a hyperlink. And so what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, that there is a website blog website that's called the lgsblog.com. And in that blog, they mention your website and they say, hey, if you need any information about Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, visit this website, lgstogether.com, right? And so if someone clicked on that, it would direct them to your website. So Google actually tracks all these links, all these websites that are pointing back to your website and uses that information to determine how authoritative your website is. So in Google's eyes, the more of these websites that are pointing back to your website, as long as they're quality and are relevant to your niche, Google likes to see a lot of these pointing back to your website because it shows that you're the kind of website that likes to be referred, and you're a popular website that other websites like to talk about, and it's just a good measure of how authoritative your website is. So at 8 referring domains on 134 backlinks, you just don't have enough websites that are pointing back to your website to show Google that you are a popular website. So we definitely want to increase this to about 300-400 referring domains on about 2,000 to 4,000 backlinks for anything that is medical related. There is a lot of most of the time it's pretty difficult to rank for them because there's a lot of these authoritative websites that really have cornered that side of the informational market in terms of like medical things. So like things like WebMD, they show up for a ton of key phrases related to medical conditions because there's such an authoritative website, right? So let me type in WebMD so you can see exactly what I mean by that. Yeah, so actually I think this is It's actually the dubbed version. So this is the kind of authority that this website's got 150 million backlinks, right? You're at what, like 100 backlinks? Yeah, so you know, or 468,000 referring domains. So this is the kind of website that you would be competing against in terms of like medical. Now, WebMD actually doesn't show up at the top of Google for Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, but there are a couple of ones that are up there. And so, anyways, I don't want to just kind of say the doom and gloom. What I do want to mention is that this website is very, very optimized for the phrase Lennox-Gastaut syndrome and LGS. That's an advantage that no one else, here like epilepsy.com, GHR.NLM, like none of these websites in Wikipedia, they don't, except for this LGS Foundation, most of them don't actually are optimized 100% for LGS. And so this is a great opportunity for you to come in, except for these guys. And actually, I don't think their metrics are going to be too good because I've already looked at the competition for this. And so besides this person, no one else is 100% optimized for LGS and Linux gas syndrome, where you can take advantage of that. And as long as you have more links pointing back to your website, which is going to help show Google that you are authoritative, and then on top of that, doing some of our SEO work, like just doing some of the on-page SEO elements, you're really going to start moving up in Google searches and rankings when people type in the phrase LGS and Linux gas syndrome, right? And so very possible for us to do this. It's just a matter of starting to get the work going and getting this ranked. Now, I do have to mention that this SEO and organic search and things like that isn't something that provides immediate results. This is something that takes time for Google to see the authority continuing to build up on your website, and for Google to start placing you higher and higher in its search algorithm and rankings for the keywords that you want to target. It's just one of those things that you know, you're putting in $1,000 and you're expecting to get $1,000 back immediately, or at least in terms of ROI, but unfortunately it just doesn't work that way. Now, what I can mention is that the moment that you hit the first page for a lot of these keywords, then that's when you're going to see a huge influx of traffic and a huge influx of people that are inquiring about some of the products and services that you provide. So it's just a matter of just getting there, and it's just a matter of getting the ball rolling at first, right? And so there's a lot of these other longer tail keywords we can capture as well, besides just kind of LGS or Lennox-Gastaut syndrome. And so a lot of options, a lot of wiggle room for kind of what we could do. Just kind of matter of asking you a couple of things with the goal of with your website, what you're looking to do, what your time frame is, what your budget is, and just kind of hashing out a plan of attack and getting started with this. So again, appreciate if you watch this video all the way through. I hope at the very least you got some insight out of it, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.